Hello, my friends, and welcome back to KTB Creates. Today, I'm going to take you through 4 more Valentine DIYs. So let's get right into our crafts. So for DIY number 1, you are going to need 3 of those little wooden drawer boxes, and we're just going to use the inner drawer and save the other pieces for another craft down the road. So you're just going to paint all 3 of these. I'm using some white, linen white chalk paint from Rust-Oleum, and I'm just going to cover all of this. One coat did fine with it because, as you know, I love more of a rustic look, so um, you don't need exactly full coverage for this. Then I am going to go in with my Waverly Antique Wax just to add a little bit of dimension along the edges of the wooden squares, to make them look like they're like worn a little bit. So I'm really just going to focus on the corners and the edge just to give it a little bit more of a definition. So it kind of helps them stand out a little bit more, if that makes sense. So I just went ahead and did that around all the sides and corners. And then I lightly stroked, dry brushed right through the white part as well, just a little bit. So now it's time to glue all 3 pieces together. So I'm just showing you here, I'm just gluing where the little heart cutout is. I'm just going to glue those together. So obviously you can't see the heart. And I am just using some hot glue. If you want it a little bit more permanent, I would recommend using an E6000 or some sort of a super glue or something of this sort. And we're just going to glue those 2 pieces together. And then the third piece, we're going to glue right in the middle of the 2 bottom pieces with that little heart cutout facing down. And I'm showing you how to do that right here. This is a super easy project. And I absolutely love the way it came. I think this is probably my favorite of the 4. And the fact that it was so easy to do is all the more reason why I like it. So, as always, you're going to have to let me know exactly what you think, which one was your favorite in the comment section below, because I love to hear from you guys. So the next part of this is, I know I love using my silhouette, but I know a lot of you don't have one. So I wanted to make this something like totally Dollar Tree. So I'm just using these letter stickers, just applying the I and the U. And then I like to, when I use stickers, I like to dry brush whatever paint color over them because I feel like it makes them look less like a sticker and more like hand lettering or something of the sort. So that's what I did there. And then I just used these little heart stickers that I had. They're also from the Dollar Tree. And I am just going to dry brush some white chalk paint. And then I'm just highlighting around the edges with my antique wax just to make that heart stand out a tiny bit more. And then lastly, I'm using some baker's twine. And I am just going to basically wrap that around all 3 of the little boxes, and just to finish it off and give it a little bit of a fancier look. You could also probably cut some different ribbon and things like that if you don't like this, and make like a little bow with different kinds of ribbon for the top. I generally like neutral Valentine decor. These DIYs have a little bit of color in them, so that's why I was sticking with a little splash of color. And then you'll see here, all I did was I took some of that baker's twine and I just wrapped it around my fingers a few times, and I am just making a simple little bow from that. And I'm going to glue that right on top, and that's it. So, like I said, super easy project, but I think it's so adorable and a perfect little gift for someone in your life that you totally love. So, let me know what you think. Okay, for DIY number two, we are going to make an adorable, sweet little garland. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love creating garland for any and every holiday there is. I think it's just such a cute way to um, pretty up like a china hutch or a fireplace or anything like that. So, what I'm doing here is I am taking some of those cookie sheets, and I believe I used two. So, we're going to make five little like flag banners, and I am measuring, I believe, 5.5 inches down and then 5.5 inches across. So that's the size that I'm using to create my little flag shape for the banners. And then you're just going to go ahead and cut them out according to, I just used a Sharpie here just to mark the lines. And then I just marked a line where the center of like the points on the flag should be so that I made sure I'm cut the flag end of it evenly, if that makes any sense at all. It does in my head, but I don't know if it makes sense when I'm saying it. So maybe if you just watch here, you'll understand. So then you're going to go ahead and cut them all out. And once you do that, we're going to dress them up a little bit. So I had bought this at a thrift store. I thought it was such a good deal, but it's basically like, craft paper, beautiful craft paper. So I just went ahead and decided on a cute little floral print that kind of matched the little hearts. And, I thought they were all Valentine type colors. So I am going to measure that little square to be, it's 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So it's going to fit right in the middle of the foil piece. So now you're going to take these adorable little heart treat bags that they sell at the Dollar Tree. They come now. I got these last year, and they came in three in a pack. So I don't know if you get more in a pack this year or not. I don't remember if I've seen them or not. But I'm basically going to cut them up, and I'm going to use my pinking shears, and I'm just going to basically cut out the heart shape, but I'm going to leave a little bit of that burlap edge around it just to, I don't know, give it some extra added interest. So that's kind of what my little cutout hearts are going to look like. So obviously I'm making five, so I'm just going to cut out five hearts. And now you're all set to put it all together. So you're going to lay your scrapbook paper on top of your foil piece, and then the heart is going to be centered right on that piece. I'm just using a little bit of hot glue just to adhere everything. You can use your adhesive of choice depending on how permanent you want it to be, but I feel like the hot glue works just fine for this project. And I absolutely love the way this came. Like I said, I think it's just different and fun to make a little banner for every holiday of the year. And this is something that, in hindsight, you probably could have done this before you put it all together. But because I do like to antique everything and make everything look a little bit more worn and rustic, I am taking the antique wax and I'm going back in. Now, here I'm being very careful with it, but you'll see towards the end you can kind of do this haphazardly because I like that warm look. So I'm kind of going all around the edges of the foil. Then I also go into the scrap paper and I'm really working it in on the corners and around the edges to make it look, like it's worn and tattered a little bit. It would also look really cool if you burned the edges of the scrapbook paper or like ripped them a little bit. That would look really cool too. So now it's time to put it all together with your twine. So I'm using it's thicker twine. It's not the Dollar Tree twine. Um, this one I believe, at Walmart. I've had it for so long, but it is thicker. So I wanted something a little bit more hefty. So all I did was I measured 12 inches from the end so that it allows some room for you to hang it. And then I'm just going to hot glue the twine right to that metal piece. And then for the other pieces, I just measured 3 inches between each flag. So that's all I'm doing here is kind of making sure they're even so it looks, finished, professionally finished, and, perfect when you're all done. So that's all I'm doing here. And then I just went in and hot glued the twine on all of them. Pretty easy. Okay, for DIY number 3, you are going to need 3 of the glass candlestick holders. And this is a DIY fail, so take it from me. Don't try and paint these with a paintbrush and chalk paint. Use spray paint. It's so much easier. So I don't even know why I did this, why I started this way. It's kind of cold here in Pennsylvania, so that's probably why, but I just ended up going down in my basement and using some white spray paint. Much easier, much smoother finish, looks so much better. So you can skip that painting part. All right, so once they are all painted, I am going to use them to make just cute little decorative vases. So these I actually got from the Dollar Tree as well. One has little hearts all over it, and the other one says love. So we're going to glue 2 of the candlestick holders together, and then we're going to put the vase on the other one so that you have 2 different varying heights. And I am going in with some hot glue, as well as I like to use the Gorilla Glue just for more of a permanent hold. And then you're going to flip over the top one and glue that together, and then you can glue your vase right on top of that. But before you get into gluing your vase on it, I want it to embellish the vase a little bit more and again, make it a little bit more farmhouse. So I found this yarn, which my Dollar Tree just started carrying. So be patient. I know if you don't have it yet, you'll be getting it soon because if my Dollar Tree has it, everyone's going to get it because my Dollar Trees aren't that great. So I decided to take some Dollar Tree twine with this yarn, and I'm just going to wrap it around the top and the bottom of both vases, and I'm just hot gluing it to fix it in place. And again, I think it looks so cute, and it adds kind of like more of a rustic look to it. And then, like I said, for the other one, you're just going to use the one candle holder and you're going to glue the vase right on top of that. Again, with the same method, altering the hot glue and the Gorilla Glue. And then you're all set to decorate. Now, a few ideas here. I have these little heart picks that I just pulled the hearts off of, but I also have some Hershey Kisses. So you could either put candies in these or do something different with these little hearts. And I absolutely love the way these came. I also ended up going in and dressing up the candlesticks a little bit, like I said, or like you see here with those cute little twine bows, and then the other one I just kind of wrapped some twine and yarn around it. But I love the way these came. And again, I'm not one for a ton of color with Valentine's, but I really love the way this came. So again, let me know what you think. So let's get into our final DIY, which is super easy. I actually found this in my Dollar Tree. It's a little mini shadow box frame. All you're going to need is some little heart stickers that I'm going to use. And again, it's hard to find these signs sometimes. You got to look, you got to dig through the shelves in the Dollar Tree because sometimes they're honestly really hidden. So this is super easy. I just pulled off that little circle. I didn't paint the sign or anything. I left it exactly how it was. All I did was I took the little glitter heart arrow and I am just painting it with white chalk paint. It does leave, it's a little bit of a textured finish, but I'm totally fine with that. I just didn't want the red glitter. So I just made sure I painted the front and all the sides to that. And you can see here how it's a little textured. And I am just going to dry brush some white chalk paint on my little heart. And we're going to glue that little arrow right to the center of the heart. And I think it just looks adorable. This would be great for, your tier tray, if you guys decorate with tier trays, or just cute, like on a shelf or anything, just to add a little bit of some Valentine decorations. And then you're going to go ahead and glue that right to the center of the frame, and you're good to go. I did also go ahead and decide I needed to spice it up just a little bit by adding some lace ribbon that I had. So you can leave it as is here, or you can go ahead and add a little bow or something else just to dress it up a little bit. So like I said, I had this lace ribbon and I knew it would fit on here perfectly. So I am just going to hot glue that and wrap it all around the edge of the frame. And then the perfect finishing touch for this is to make a simple little bow for the top. And I'm just going to hot glue that right in the corner and just kind of let the lace fall down. Like I said, a super easy project to do, and it's just adorable. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Also, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and like this video and share it with your friends, because that really helps my channel to grow. I do love hearing your comments below and what your favorite DIY is for today. So go ahead and leave that as well. Thank you again for being here. You are all so wonderful. Go ahead out there and create your own kind of beautiful, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care.